This video is for a wife who feels hopeless in her marriage. Maybe you feel hopeless about your husband, feel like he's not really following God like you are, or that he's not really paying attention to you anymore, that the love is gone and you're just roommates, or maybe he's caught in an addiction and it's breaking your heart and so frustrating and disappointing. Well, I just want to encourage you not to give up hope, because prayer can do amazing things, especially when we're praying in line with God's will. And I know you're thinking, well, how do I know exactly how to pray in line with God's will? Well, let me tell you. When you pray specific Bible verses, God's word, back to Him, you know you're praying in line with God's will. So all that being said, I just want to share 3 verses, Bible verses, where you can insert your husband's name and pray in line with God's will, and then sit back. Maybe you'll have to wait a little while, but watch God go to work, because He is faithful. When you are praying in line with God's will, it isn't a matter of if He'll answer. It's just a matter of when you will see that outcome. So let me share these 3 specific verses. The first one is Ephesians 3, verses 17 through 19. I'm going to insert my husband's name here, but you insert your own husband's name. Again, Ephesians 3, starting at verse 17. I pray that Jesus would come and dwell in Mark's heart by faith, and that Mark, being rooted and established in love, may have power together with all the saints to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and that Mark would know this love that surpasses knowledge, that Mark would be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. That's an especially powerful verse to pray on behalf of your husband if you sense that he doesn't really grasp the amazing love of God. Because once someone grasps God's amazing love, they are going to be following Him, serving Him, devoted to Him. All right, the next verse, Proverbs 3, starting in verse 5. Again, I'll insert my husband's name. I pray that you would work in Mark's heart so that he would trust in the Lord with all his heart and lean not on his own understanding. In all his ways, I pray that Mark would acknowledge you, Lord, and that you would make his path straight. Ooh, that's a good one. And then James 4, I could go on and on, but I'm just giving you 3 examples. James 4, starting in verse 7. I pray that you would convict Mark of the need to fully submit himself to you, God, and I pray that you would show Mark how to resist the devil so that the devil would flee from Mark. Whew, powerful verse to pray, inserting your husband's name. Pray this daily. It might take weeks, it might take months, it might take years for you to see the result of that persistent prayer, but I've seen prayer move mountains and save marriages. Give it a try.